Hello, Jose Rodriguez once again. Let's talk a little bit about how to disable ink monitoring, since we just got done discussing what it actually is. So simply put, ink monitoring has to be disabled only after a cartridge is declared empty. You will see that on your screen or your regular printer like a Pro-10 or a Pro-300 for that matter, or maybe a Pro-200. These new printers cannot have their chips reset, so we have to either use OEM only or disable ink monitoring as each cartridge goes empty. And at least with the Pro-10, we can just refill those by weight. It's very simple. We've been doing that with the Pro-10 all along anyway, so we should be very familiar how to refill a Pro-300 cartridge. However, with the Pro-200, it's a little bit more difficult because of the opaque cartridge that they have implemented. Yeah, they did that to kind of block us. So we need to do a little bit of surgery and prepare some transparent cartridges, CLI-42s for instance, or even CLI-8s, and then transfer the CLI-65 chips to the correct color cartridges and then use those after they have been disabled. Now, at least you'll be able to see how the sponge is absorbing ink. It's going to be a bit more difficult, but not impossible. Now, let's talk about how to disable ink monitoring. It's very simple. Once a cartridge says I'm empty and the printer just says, hey, you have two choices. You have to replace the cartridge. This one doesn't tell you how to disable ink monitoring. Some of the other printers, such as the 200 and the 300, according to Precisioncolors and other folks that I have been in contact with, they have told me that you do get that warning and then you get the instructions of how to continue printing, if you will, until you either burn your print head or run out of total ink. Well, we don't want to do that. So at least they tell us how to dig that hole to the point where you basically succumb. Well, we know what to do though. So what you do is as soon as you get that signal with the cartridge still installed in the printer, you press this button and you hold it for 5 seconds. 4 and 5. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cartridges that have empty chips that have been disabled. I have 1, 2, 3 that still have some life left in them, and I just have to wait until they run out, and then I will disable those. That is all it takes. That's all it takes. When you then view your actual ink levels on your driver, because here it will show nothing, you will see as you hover over each particular channel or color channel that has been supposedly disabled, you will not see that it's empty. It'll just tell you that if you continue printing, you might run out of ink. That's the notice that you will see. At that point, if I did not have these sensors attached, I would have to be constantly checking the weight of my cartridges. These particular cartridges weigh 32 grams when they are bone empty, and they weigh 112 grams when they have 81 mLs of ink in them. So I would have to constantly be checking to make sure that I am above that 32 gram weight and then just top everything off as need to. Well, with these sensors here, as you have heard me talk about in the last several videos, they will indicate to me. I will normally be in this orientation, printing lots of prints, and I keep my eyes open, checking to make sure any of these LEDs, either this side or that side, light up. When they light up, the matching sensor will turn off. So it's either or. And that's a double redundancy system or a safety net for us. So for instance, if the right cartridge drops to about 20 ml from 80, which is what it's holding now, that light will go off and this light will come on. And I'll be able to clearly see that as I am printing. Whoops, I see that light is beginning to blink. That means it's reaching a point where that 20 ml range will be detected maybe this print, maybe the next print. So again, that gives us quite a bit of leeway, because all we have to do then is at our convenience, go ahead and top off any of those cartridges that require it. Right here lives a little defeater. You remove that, and that tells the printer, hey, you open the door. You see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. It's telling me how to exchange a cartridge through a little animation. So at that point, I remove the affected cartridge, take it out, hold it straight up, remove my plug, add 50 to 60 ml of ink. That will give me within 80 and 70-ish ml of total ink. Pop it back in after I have replaced the plug, and I am done. Now I have to close the door. Well, you cannot close the door. You have cables everywhere. So you're going to insert this back in the slot where the sensor lives, and it sees it as being closed, and it shows me the correct screen, and I'm ready to go. And that's it. From that point onward, no more chips are required. Even if there was resetting, you wouldn't really have to. I wish there were. Then we wouldn't need the system, right? So at this point, this system is going to very likely sell for about $200 complete. He is working on figuring out what it would cost to ship to the European Union, as well as the UK and possibly other countries outside of the EU. So be ready for that. But again, it's totally worth it, folks. The sensors are going to come pre-calibrated to detect about 20 ml. I say about 20 ml because these sensors are not intended to be used in this type of application. They are simply for a tank of water like that, and you want to make sure that you are told maybe the tank is not transparent. You have a sensor at whatever level you want to be triggered, and when the water drops to that level, it will then cause the lights to change. In this case, it'll just be a sensor light going off. You add water, the sensor light will come back on again. But again, it's a very coarse type detection. We have been able to set it up for a very fine type of detection within a few milliliters up or down of a specific setting, whatever you calibrate it to. You won't have to worry about that. It'll come pre-calibrated for you. All right, I think that is enough for now. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And until the next time, happy printing as always. Bye-bye.